Welcome, foolish mortals.
Time to be turning around. If only you could.
Cause this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
Hey, Henry, what's holding you up? Let's get on with the show. We can't hang around here all day.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
There's no turning back now.
This is the greatest show!
It's coming in on the burning lights. With the runaways are running tonight. Impossible comes true. It's taking over you. This is the greatest show.
Now it's time for the WDW Beyond the Gates podcast with your hosts, Michael Hurley and Gary Aruda.
All right, Pards. We're live again. It's a Saturday night.
Live.
Little impromptu live. Giants are disappointing me, so I figured we could get on here and talk a little bit. I was looking forward to this game. I thought they'd at least keep it close, but looks like the Eagles are what do they call them? A wagon? The Eagles are a wagon right now. Just dominating.
Ball club.
What's that?
A dab lame good ball club.
Yeah, dab lame.
I love that term. Do you?
Dab lame?
When Bobby Bowden used to use it, that's a great Southern word.
It's a good Southern word. That's true. How you doing today? Oh,
Doing good.
was that a big sneeze right there?
That was a sneeze mic right there.
You muted it, though. That was pretty good. That was a quick one. Oh, he muted it again.
Yep.
Well, bless you, my son.
With him and through him and in him, in the unity of the Holy Spirit.
Did you play golf today?
Yep.
How was it?
Good.
So you said that your cousin, not me, Kurt, who I Venmoed $5 live last night,
Yeah.
was watching the live.
Yeah. He watches our live.
What was he watching on? How did he get the notification?
Probably watching on Facebook.
But he's not in the group. He's in the regular page.
Yeah, I think he follows our regular page.
Oh, okay. I'm not on the regular page today. I decided to do Twitter instead. See how that goes. Because we can only pick 3
Okay.
streaming. So I did the group, the WDW Beyond the Gates family. I did YouTube, and then I did Twitter. So see what the
I don't think Twitter is the best platform.
No, not many people watch on Twitter, do they? Oh, another bless.
That's Tommy Morrow.
So what did he say about the broadcast? He said he had a lot of questions.
He just asking me the cost and what the maintenance fees are, and
Is he gonna invest? He's a big Disney guy, I know.
yeah, he's a huge Disney guy. I don't think he's quite there yet.
He's not there.
A couple more live shows.
He's on the 10-yard line.
You know, and you try to explain it like as you're walking down the fairway and you have 30 seconds before we veer right. Yeah, I
Right.
veer right and he veers left. Because we're not having that constant walk down the middle 280.
Right, of course. That
So
doesn't happen
you have your 40 yards worth of talking before I'll see you. Hopefully on the green. At some
Yeah,
point.
see you on the green.
I'm not in my pocket.
10 minutes. Yeah.
And I said, look, here, the simplest way to look at this. I said, you're a cruiser. You cruise 3-4 times a year. I said, what's your average? What you and your girlfriend? What's it called? $5,000. We do the upgrade and one of the cabin. Blah blah blah. I said, okay. I said, I'm looking at what my point value is at the Grand Floridian.
Mhm.
And for me to stay the Sunday before Christmas, it's about $230. I said, for you to pay for that hotel room, it's going to be $600 minimum. I'm like, so I'm getting this for about a third of the price that you're getting it. I said, so let's say your cruise is $5,000, but now you're getting it for $2,000, and all you have to do is prepay $20,000 or $30,000 and pay annual maintenance fees. It's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, for 30 years of cruising, if you will, for him. And you're getting, what do you got? 40? You're getting more than 40 years at the Grand,
Yeah, I
right?
got 40. Yeah, 42 when I bought, so 41 now because we're in the new year. But
That's pretty good.
did you run numbers?
Just overall, I didn't do that calculation you told me. I just kind of ran
the price per point divided by the number of years you have plus the yearly.
I mean, I just kind of went by contract total and how many points I'm going to get. And I know that, the total points where you buy in at matters to some extent. Because, if you're buying in at Saratoga, that one's not too hard to book. So you're not getting a huge advantage buying in there, except the points are lower.
Yeah, the cost
price
is
per
lower.
point is lower.
The maintenance fees are lower.
Right, the maintenance fees aren't too bad. So, I was kind of between Animal Kingdom and Saratoga. And Animal Kingdom had an extra 8 or 9 years, but the price per point was higher and the maintenance was a little higher.
Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, I like Saratoga. I think the price is fine. I think you're going to be able to get into, you'll probably have difficulty getting into the Grand Floridian and Polynesian and some of these other ones that until the tower is built that don't have a ton of inventory. But Animal Kingdom, you're going to be able to get into.
Right, not the value.
Any time for your summer vacation. So you're going to be able to get into there. You'll probably be able to get into Wilderness Lodge, which you're dying to stay at.
Right, yeah, we love that. We looked at those rooms. They were really nice.
Now, did you look at point charts just to see how many min and max you could do, right? Because you go
Quickly,
balls to the walls for a week, and I'm like, okay, I need 200. If I kind of scrounge it, okay, I can get away with 110. So you did all those calculations, right?
Yeah, definitely. As far as doing a studio versus a 1-bedroom, things like that. But I think the point value, what you were saying, the 150 is a good starting point because you basically, that gives you a week per year at a studio, pretty much anywhere for 150.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking. 150 is going to get us 8 to 10 nights. 8 if we scrounge, 10, and I think it's a great starting point. I mean, you're probably already looking at your second contract. You're looking at second and third contracts. It's an absolute sickness.
It could be. It could end up
because you see how beautiful. What is our one thing? We love the Disney resorts. If we could buy DVC for restaurants, we'd be flipping through there. I can pick up a GECO contract for.
I think the biggest thing is that I'm not paying $600 or $700 to stay at the Poly. It's never happening.
Right.
But I don't mind spending 21 points or something like that to stay there. If the
that's
money's
a great stay. I mean, your kids will take a dump staying there with the tiki torches and the pools.
The pool's fantastic there. If you get a decent view, you could see fireworks from your balcony potentially. We watched a review of a studio at Bay Lake, and it was Seven Seas Lagoon view, but it was on the side.
Yeah,
and
it's fantastic.
You could still see the theme park. It was mostly Seven Seas, but if you look to your left, you could see fireworks from there. But it was technically a lagoon view.
And I still think I'm still sold that their cheapest view is the best view because I'd much rather have the Bay Lake view.
That's actually what Sarah said. She's like, I'd rather have the lake than the parking lot.
No freaking doubt about it.
I said it's nice to be able to see the fireworks. Don't get me wrong, but for the point difference, and it's a beautiful view from the lake. It's very serene. You're not getting a lot.
But you know
of
what? That could be a one and done. That could be let's do this. Spend a couple extra points. Have the kids watch fireworks from the balcony.
Yeah,
because that is a friggin' magical thing to be able to watch fireworks from your hotel room. There is something said about that, but you don't have to do it every trip. There's just so many different.
No, and we were watching the YouTube videos this morning, and Gina's looking at him. She said, "Can we stay at all these hotels?" I said, "If we do this a Yeah, pretty much we can. We can stay at anyone we want.
Dirty. You used the kids.
Well, no, I mean,
Oh, you
she
brought
said that on her
the
own.
kids into the meeting.
Yeah, they were watching the video.
Oh, you.
They love the hotels.
You did know what you were doing, didn't you?
I had the ace in my pocket, didn't I? Had a wild card to throw in there. But I mean, they love the resorts. They love the pools, hanging out in the rooms, and like I was even telling Sarah, I said we can go and not go to the parks. We can just hang out. We'll get the 1-bedroom. If we rent a car or we'll take Uber, we'll get some food. We can cook in the room with the 1-bedroom. You know, we can cook in the room because we get a full
No, that's
kitchen.
hard to work. That one's really hard to work on the spreadsheet.
The 1-bedrooms.
No, not that, but the cooking. We'll save some money by cooking.
Oh no, I wasn't even saving the money. It's just
Right.
like having
But a
it
lot of
there.
people try to do that, and it's like, nope, the 1-bedroom's a luxury. You're not saving by having cornflakes as opposed to the Mickey waffles. That's just that's not going to work on your spreadsheet.
No, I'm not saying you save money that way, but that's actually, just the opportunity to be able to make pancakes,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Especially if you're not planning on going to the parks. The one thing
Or
I
even
really
all
like,
these deluxes, they have so many food options. So you could just run down to the quick service and
Oh,
get
yeah.
your food and come back to your 1-bedroom and sit at the table and just
that's
you're
true
not
too.
in that chaotic, crowded food court.
That's also very true.
So what? I don't know. What would you say? You said one other thing that really.
Oh no, but one thing I said is, we don't have to go to the parks. And then she said, well, we could always get a 1 or 2 day ticket if we want, if we're staying for a few days and just do a couple days in the park. I said, that's in play. You never know. But like, think about it. You go down in like December, and we take the kids out of school for a couple days, and we stay at a 1-bedroom, go to the resorts, check out the decorations, and we just do the Mickey's Christmas party. And that's our only park thing.
Yeah,
You're not buying
you
park.
just pay the hard ticket.
Like, that's not a bad deal.
No, hell no.
It's expensive, but that's not a bad play to do it that way because you have all day hanging out at the resort. You do that on your Friday or your Saturday, go in at 4:00 whenever they first let you in, do a few rides, walk around, and then you do the party, go balls to the wall for the party, and you get your little taste of Disney. The hardest thing for me is if we're staying at like Boardwalk or something, not being able to go into Epcot, I think is
That would be hard, wouldn't it?
that's going to be difficult. Or Beach Club or something. We were watching the videos, like I said, and Beach Club, as much as I liked the Beach Club, like I love the Beach Club. I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but those rooms are going to be so nice when they do the refurb with the Murphy
Oh my
bed.
God! Oh, they are so. The Murphy bed just changes everything.
It's a huge like that.
Whoever
Sarah
invented
kept saying-
the Murphy bed, it should be. I mean, you want to talk about Elon Musk as a pioneer? Whoever started this freaking Murphy bed
his name was probably Murphy, if I had to guess.
yeah. But he's one of those guys. Like if you could have dinner with 3 people, I might be throwing like George Brett out and getting the guy who invented the Murphy
And getting
bed in there.
Jim Murphy in there to talk
Jimmy
to
Murphy
about the
in
bed.
there.
It's not a bad play. I mean, those now they're doing them in the regular rooms too, like that Caribbean Beach mermaid room.
Yeah,
with the Murphy bed.
Yeah.
Like that room's so nice.
Completely changed that room. That room is so much better now.
The way you can, stay with that room, like the poly rooms with the Murphy bed, and not to mention they have that drop down bed in front of the TV, the small bed there as well.
But you did watch you watched the DVC and not the Moana room, right?
Correct. It was the DVC room,
I
which
think
is
the
still
DVC
refurbed.
It's I think it's better than the Moana. And I thought the Moana was my favorite room on property.
The
This
showers
DVC
are
room's insane.
gorgeous.
Well, we got a deal. A Florida resident. I didn't realize it was at the Polynesian. It was the Polynesian. I didn't realize that it was the Disney, the DVC. So we go walking in, and they have like the
Little kitchen
entrance
area.
area, where you can clean your shoes or whatever, and it says Disney Vacation Club. And I'm like, oh, we're staying in the DVC area. Well, to have those 2 bathrooms,
That was another thing. Yeah.
How amazing was that?
Because you got the tub and then you have the shower.
And then you have the
tub.
shower.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
And the coloring, that room is freaking gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice. And that Murphy bed pulling down out of the wall where it just converts back into a couch, no problem.
Yep.
Gives you a lot of room. And then with the two girls, if they don't want to sleep in the same bed and you have that drop down one under the TV, one of them can sleep on that one.
Right.
And then they're not kicking each other all night in bed. Like, that's a huge advantage as well, as far as a studio. And I even said to Sarah, I said, if we're doing parks, we'll do a studio. I'm not going to waste the points on a one bedroom if we're going parks all day,
right,
every day. I said, but if we're just going down for a room and just to hang out, we could save the points and do, 3 nights at a one bedroom or something instead of a studio. Can cook in the room. We have the extra space, double balconies, all that kind of stuff. And, it kind of sold itself. And you really run the numbers, and the fact that you can sell it down the line and it holds its value, you're not going to get 100%, but you can get some of it. It's a better investment than a car, for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. At the end of the day, if the poop hits the fan, you're still getting out of it. You're still getting out of it.
Like, I could sell it in 10 years.
It cost you a few $1,000s, but you're not, losing
but you're
your
using
house
it
because of this.
Right,
and you're still using it.
So, like, if I get this contract that I put in an offer for at $16,000, in 10 years, I could probably sell it for $10,000 or $11,000.
You could probably sell it for maybe even 16.
Well, but I'm saying the minimum.
Yeah.
So if we decide after 10 years, it's like we're not using it, we're not getting our money out of it, we don't want to do it anymore, you just sell it. Or like you said, when those fees come due every year, the maintenance fees, you can sell half your points, rent them, pay for the fees, and then if you don't use, bank your points for the next year, whatever, and you could basically rent your points throughout your entire contract and at least, stay even. You don't have to use it, and you don't lose money on it. I didn't realize, I kind of always looked at it like it doesn't make sense, but the fact that it holds its value a little bit is a game changer on it.
The thing is it never makes sense until you actually dig into it.
Yeah.
And there's Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you've ever listened to him or heard of him.
I know who he is. I don't follow him, but I know who he is. Yeah.
He's a don't get into debt, don't do this. He hates timeshares.
Sure.
Hates them.
It doesn't make sense.
So somebody called him one day and was asking him about Disney Vacation Club. He goes, okay. He goes, I'm glad you called. He said, because I've actually been researching this. He said, and it's the one-time share that actually holds its value. He said, it's a great product. He said, and I'm fine with people buying that. And I was like, whoa, Dave Ramsey said, because if Dave Ramsey says something's okay, something's definitely okay.
Because he's cheap as everybody. Like, not cheap, but he's frugal.
He's very frugal. He's very frugal. He's a multi-millionaire, and every month he and his wife sit down and do budgets.
Right.
So he's just, and then there's this other podcast where I just started listening to because my brother-in-law got into her, and she's one of those. I think her podcast is called Families 5 Free. So she talks about different ways to use different credit cards
to get
and accumulating points and then being able to fly for free. So she's again super frugal. I'm flipping through. I just bought Disney Vacation Club. Got to listen to this one. So I'm on the walk with Rhodey, and she said she bought Disney Vacation Club. She had been thinking about it. She ran the numbers. It just made sense. Here's another person, super frugal. Use your credit cards in order to fly free. You would think that she's going to tell you to stay at the, Ramada Inn on 192.
I think just that it holds its value and that you can sell it and get something for it at the end is a huge advantage. Like, if I try to sell it in 2041 and it has 7 years left on it or something, yeah, I'm not going to get a lot for it. But I'm not going to get zero for it either.
I mean, look at
Vero
Old Key West and Vero.
Key West.
They're selling for more than what the original cost was. And granted, you got inflation and all that stuff, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if you bought a house and you sold it tomorrow. Yeah, if you sell your contract tomorrow, you probably would be screwed.
Sure.
But you'd still only maybe be a couple $1,000s out between all the, closing costs and this and that. But
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like having 30 years of vacations basically paid for, especially if you pay cash for it.
no, do your kids like the resorts too?
Yeah, they do.
So they're not total rope drop and run around the parks? Because you told me over the summer that one of them just wanted to come back and swim, right?
They'd rather hang out at the hotel and go in the pool than go to the parks at this point. It might change a little bit. It'll flip-flop, I'm sure, but they like the parks, but they love the pools and they like hanging out at the resorts and doing that stuff.
That's pretty sweet.
So I'm good with that. Like, that's why the Poly is awesome. It's studio at the Poly. For a few nights, use the pool, go over, hang out at the Grand if we want, have dinner there, go to, hop on the monorail, go to the Contemporary, go to, Steakhouse 71 for breakfast one morning. Like, that's a pretty good place to hang out. Wilderness Lodge, I love that place. And even though, like, you can get rack rate for a regular room, they're not terrible, under $4 usually. But even that, you're getting just a regular,
Yeah.
You're still paying less points wise if you break it down, what you're paying per point. And being able to bank and borrow, so you're not handcuffed into going once a year. We can go every other year, or we can go once in 3 years and stay at a 2-bedroom and bring her father, or bring my parents or something. Like, that's a huge advantage as well.
It so is, because like I even said, I'm not taking your family for free, but if they wanted to split whatever the cost, like I wouldn't charge you a rack rate, but if this room is costing us $500 a night, you want to go $250.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like you said, you take Mike. He's just him and his golden doodle. Say, hey, we're gonna take you on a vacation. We got it taken care of. I mean, that would be
just
sweet.
pay for your flights and your tickets,
right?
And you got we'll take the room. You get your own bedroom. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah, that'd be great. And like we said, what if we do the crazy thing where we both have contracts and we say for 2 nights we're gonna stay at the cabin?
Yeah, that wasn't good to bring that up. We're gonna do it, aren't we?
If we split it, it's not that bad. Like, let me pull up a point.
I think I saw it like at the low for 107. So
you wouldn't spend if for 2 nights you wouldn't spend 100 points on it.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, but see, it's harder for you. For me, if I have those points and I'm only going once or twice a year, I can say, you know what, I don't mind spending the extra.
What I do is maybe just go buy some points just for that one.
That's true too.
Go buy them on the secondary.
Rent the points, yeah.
This is not good, because this is like
we're like you were like a drug addict and you were on your own. Now we're like gonna be bouncing off each other.
New Phil Jr. sent me that exact message. I said I got Gary. Gary's pretty damn close. He goes, you're that guy at the corner. Just give it a little taste. Give it a little try. It's not gonna hurt you.
I'm looking at the Boulder Ridge chart right now.
Yeah,
oh no, Copper Creek, right?
Look at September.
I'm sorry, Copper Creek has the cabin. 84 during the week in September.
84. So we're talking 32 apiece?
42.
Oh, yeah. What am I thinking? 64. 42?
Yeah.
So it'd be all right. So just say 84 would be 84 apiece for 2 nights.
For 2 nights. Like, you could kind of justify that, right? Because that's a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, but yeah, I know. But then you're like, but I'd rather be there near Christmas.
101 for December 1st through 23rd. 101 points. That's a lot. That's 75%. That's 66% of your contract.
101.
But that's not out of the realm, right?
No, it's
That's not
You're,
insane.
You're a disaster. I'm so thankful that your dad doesn't have Facebook because we'd be done. He wouldn't talk to us anymore.
No, you're right.
You wouldn't talk to us.
That cabin would mess us up, though. Like, it would be worth it to go there, and we would just hang out there the entire
Now,
2
you would agree that we don't do
100%.
anything, right? We grill out the
Nothing.
whole time. We might just go
grilling.
to the quick service to
Oh, I might go to, like, my favorite
go to the bar.
Yeah, have a drink or two, but other than that, we go to the pool if the girl but we have the hot tub in the room. If the girls wanna go to the pool, we'll go to the pool, but we can go out watch the fun.
How great is that? You put the girls to bed, and we sit out in that breezeway, and we have the fireplace going.
And
you
another
just hear the
benefit
with the boats.
Another benefit is because you're local, we just run out to Publix and we grab our case of beer.
Yeah,
We got a couple fillets and lobster tails. You think I go all out when I cook at your house? Wait till we're cooking there. Get some ribeyes, New York strips. We'd be going nuts on that grill, wouldn't we? Me and you grilling. The girls inside, they can cook all the sides.
Oh,
The girl, like, your Gina Jr. hanging out in the hot tub.
have you showed the wife the cabin?
No.
Because she's not messed up like us, right?
Oh, she would lose her mind at that. I mean, if I told her what the cost is, she might say it's not worth doing all that, but it's insane. 28-0 is not good, is it, Parts?
Is that are they walking in at halftime?
It's halftime right now, yeah. I don't think we got Trevor Lawrence walking through that door in the second half here.
Well, I'll tell you. What is he the man or what?
Trevor Lawrence?
Did you see him after the game standing in the as they were coming into the locker room? He was standing out there waiting for every teammate, and he shook every teammate's hand. That's a leader.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be good. I think
he's going to be good. And that here we go. You had the almost 0-16 Tampa or Jacksonville Jaguars, a complete disaster. They had Urban Meyer. And what happened?
Yeah.
Oh, they got a stud quarterback. Now they're in the playoffs a year later.
Right.
Oh, it's the Patriots way, Pards. It's the Patriots way.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it's the Patriots way. Best owner and the best coach in football. And where are they now?
Without a quarterback, they're nowhere. They're sitting home watching on TV like we are.
And it's funny, you dissect all these teams. Who's a Giants quarterback? Pretty good. Is he elite? Yeah. Is he elite? No. Is he going to get his contract? Yes. And where are the Giants? They're right there. You look at any team, and their quarterback says it all.
Yeah, and there's exceptions once in a while, but 99% of the time, quarterback's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes, Allen, Hurts. Those are the three best quarterbacks. Burrow. Those are the four best teams and the four best quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You look at San Francisco, they get lucky. I don't know if they'll win tomorrow against Dallas, but, they have Mr. Irrelevant playing quarterback for them. Maybe they found lightning in a bottle. Who knows? I don't know. What do you think of the what I sent you, though, the contract? That seems like a good...
Yeah, what was it, 101?
102 a point, 163 points.
And
you got to
even
up.
Fees?
I have it still up on my screen. $1,275 a year. So I don't know what that ends up being. 7 something a point.
Yeah, I think Saratoga's one of the lowest. Yeah,
782 a point. That's basically Grand's a little lower, but you're in the sevens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what'd you pay per point? 207.
Minus the incentive, I paid $199.
$199. And what's your expiration year?
64.
64. So you have 10 more years on it. And you get the direct, which is it makes a difference. Don't get me wrong. I think especially for you, buying direct was an incentive because you want to like Riviera. I love Riviera. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
I'd love to be able to stay there, but I'm not going to spend an extra $100 a point to stay at Riviera.
No, but you know what you do? You
You
go
could-
buy a 50-point contract on the resale market, and then you just use it for Riviera.
Oh, a Riviera contract and stay there for a couple nights if you want down the line. And they
Mhm.
might change it down the line too.
They might.
And you don't know for sure. But for what we want to do, to have the 14 legacies in our back pocket and be able to do Hilton Head or, Vero once every few years, that's really nice too. Or Olani, that once in a lifetime Olani trip, like you said, where you borrow and bank
Dude,
and use your 3 years worth.
I'm telling you, that's the one that's in play because you do the math on that, and it's like, good night.
The travel comes into it, and
It's-
then obviously it's expensive to.
It's expensive, and the taxes are ridiculous. And
there.
you're paying taxes. That's another big thing. That's a huge selling point.
But you are paying it there when you stay at Olani.
No, I'm just saying you're almost paying 20% taxes when you pay out of pocket.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So they have it. So you do. There's some stupid thing, but it's basically it's minimal. So like if you go for like 3 nights, it might cost you $20 in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was pricing it out for a cash stay, it was coming out to like almost $1,000. I want to say maybe $2,000 just in taxes and fees.
Oh, wow. So if we went, let's just say, if we decided to do this Olani thing,
Which
And
is
we went-
we're doing it.
and we went in August, a 2-bedroom villa is 420 points for a week.
And we actually think that might be too long. We were thinking about maybe just doing three nights to 4 nights max, and then
Okay.
going to a different part of the
To Hawaii.
Yeah. So anyway, so if we were to do a 2,
A 2-bedroom is 60 per night. Like the standard view.
okay. So yeah, but no, I gotta do the ocean.
Ocean view. So that's 80. So 40 each per night
That's
for a
nothing.
2-bedroom.
I don't think
That's
that's
not that bad. You save it like that's your, you do 100 and so do 4 nights is 160. That's basically your contract for a year for 4 nights. That's not that bad.
And that's
You know,
the one
all
where
the
you
other
probably
stuff
just
is expensive.
bank and borrow.
If you want, I guess you don't even have to. Like if you do 4 nights and we were able to split a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it would be tough for us because now we wouldn't be able to stay anywhere else the rest of the year.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because you'd want to still do the other stuff, but you could still
do my weekends.
You could do studios weekends and take a little bit from the next year or bank from the year before if you play your cards right, knowing about it.
Right.
However, 2 studios might be cheaper if we it's $29 for an ocean view studio. So it's actually
Okay.
cheaper if we did 2 studios. You don't get the kitchen, but we're not cooking in Hawaii. Like I don't think
You'd be
that.
surprised.
Oh yeah, you think that you would want to do that?
No, I don't know if I would, but I heard that the food's so expensive there.
You could even do the hotel room, which isn't even the studio, for 18
Right.
a night.
How much is it?
18 a night. 18, it's 16 to 21 is the range. That's in 2023, obviously, but
You see, Alani. You want to go to Alani now, don't you?
I don't. It's not high on my list. I have to be honest. It's not a huge. It's not a bucket list like it is for you. Like I could take or leave it. I'd rather do Grand Californian
Yeah, no kidding.
for
huh?
sure. When we were talking to Newfield Jr. about walking it, that messed me up. Just thinking about playing the game. Like I like that.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I like that. Like it has the term and you could do it and all that stuff.
I still don't understand it.
So it's basically saying like if you can get any reservation, you take it, and then you keep canceling the first night and booking the last night when you can. Like you can extend your end before other people can book it at the 7-month mark. Like, remember when you did dining reservations back in the day and you could make your 90-day plus whatever your stay was?
I never really, because I just didn't care.
So let's say your window opens at 90 days. It opens at 90 days for the first day of your vacation, but you can book your whole vacation. So that last day of your 6-day vacation is 96 days out. So you're like one of the only ones booking at 96 days out for those dining reservations. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost the same thing with walking it, because you're booking, you have this room for, let's say, 4 days, and it's August 1st through the 5th. Well, 7 months out from August 1st, you can cancel the 1st and book the 6th, while no one else can book the 6th, because it's still August 1st is 7 months out. But because that's part of your reservation,
okay,
you can cancel and move, and you have to do that every single day. So then you cancel the 2nd and you move to the 8th. You cancel the 3rd, you move to the 9th. You cancel the 4th, you move to the 10th, and you keep doing that until you get your actual days that you want.
That's insane.
So he said you could do it forever if you don't mind getting up and doing it first thing in the morning, because there's other people doing it, so they will eventually
Right.
run out. So you still have to be diligent about it, but you can do it that way. It's not 100% guaranteed, but it sounds like you can do it. And that sounds like it's the only way, unless you own it, Grand California, to get Grand California, because there's so few rooms.
It's so hard. God, and it's so prohibited now that you want it even more.
That does make you want it more, doesn't it?
Like, how great is that? That's such an expensive trip. Now you're not spending and you
But
don't
you're already
wanna,
paying
you don't
for
want to stay at their good neighbors. You want to stay at either Disneyland Tower or Grand Cal.
You do that studio. You know, you don't mind doing a studio there, right? Because you're probably going to do the parks a lot when you're in California.
Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Although
You're
just
looking-
just don't watch a 1-bedroom on YouTube,
Well,
because that's
true.
where you start getting in trouble. You know.
It's 150. It's 129 to 224 for a week in a studio. So you can get it for under 150 if you go off season. If you're going in the summer, you're paying 200 for a week at a studio. That's a lot. That's an expensive studio.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
That's a very expensive room there. But you know, obviously it's a different ball game because the inventory is so low.
Got all those great restaurants. God, I'm dying to stay there.
And rack rate there is like $600-700. It's just like,
God, it's insane. The rack rate there is so ridiculous.
so you can understand why. Now Hilton Head messes me up because I feel like even in season it's not that expensive.
No, it's 15. I was looking like it's 15 for our anniversary.
That's the prime for a studio. Like, I feel like that's one where not for you guys, but for like my family, I have to do a 1-bedroom there because you're going to be spending a lot of time in the room. I imagine.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah.
But even still, if you do like 4 or 5 nights for, 31, you could do 150 for 4 or 5 nights. Like 31 a night's the max for a 1-bedroom. That's a lot, but it's different. Like the way you and I are going to use our points is going to be very different because I'm not doing 6 weekends a year or 3 weekends a year.
Right.
You're
You're doing
week.
Yeah, I'm doing. I might even. I'm doing a day in December. I'm doing a Sunday before Christmas in December, one night. Yeah.
Where I'm going to try to get 5-6 nights and do it once a year.
Yeah, because you got to
and
fly.
use those
That's
points.
another huge expense.
Sure. Or even like if we drive to Hilton Head, that's still an expense to drive down there. So, I don't mind if it takes my whole 160 points to do my 5 nights there, it's
And I'll
probably
meet you up
worth
there
it.
for the weekend or sometime during the week. But that would be so fun, wouldn't it?
It sounds
Like,
like it.
especially like it not being a Disney trip. So like we could just go to like local restaurants and like I said, go to Savannah, go explore the South
I mean,
Carolina.
Me and you play golf because
Mhm.
there's a ton of good golf out there. Obviously, Kiowa Island, which is like $600. We're not going to play there.
Yeah, I
the
looked
island
at that
course,
recently. I'm like, yep, can't afford that.
But there's other courses around there, obviously. So, no, I mean, it brings a lot in. And every single thing I see says don't spend your points outside of staying with Disney because you don't get your bang for your buck, like the Adventures by Disney or the cruises or any of that stuff. It
You get
sounds like
screwed, and that's another reason. Like you can't use those anyways. That's another.
I don't even have access to that.
Yeah, you don't even have access to that. That's
But you wouldn't want to do it regardless. Like you don't want.
You wouldn't want to do it
anyway.
regardless. So it's not a benefit for going direct.
Like I'm not.
No.
I don't have access to that cruise.
Yeah,
at
you
all.
couldn't go.
I couldn't even pay cash for that cruise, where you can pay cash.
That's right, and that's
Yeah.
what we would do. We'd pay cash for that, but it's nice just to be able to have access because I think it would be fun. Just to, everybody on there is a DVC member, and I heard like I've read a lot, and they hook you up. They said pretty much every day that you get back to your room, there's different packages for you.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And like, don't get me wrong. All things being equal, I'd rather buy direct and get all the extra benefits, but to spend twice as much for the same amount of points, it doesn't make sense for me.
No, absolutely not.
Like to be able to get a contract at 102 a point if it does go through.
I'd be interested to see what Saratoga Direct it actually costs.
Oh, through like as a legacy, what they charge. It's got to be under. It's got to be in the maybe 160, 175.
Yeah, I want to say 150 plus.
But still,
is
even
what I'm
spending
guessing.
an extra 40 per point, so that's an extra $4,000 to get the blue card. Is that worth it for me? Not really.
No.
I don't think it is.
Because I'm trying to do the math for me. I paid $199. You can get resale contracts for around $170. So I paid $29 more a point times 150. So I paid a few $1,000s more.
Right, but for what you want to do, like being local, being able to go to that Moonlight Magic night,
which I
is a
don't know if
benefit
we'd ever
for you.
go to.
But you have a
could.
better chance than I do.
Yeah, because they just announced it, and it's in 3 weeks. It's not like you can all of a sudden
just book a flight,
just
with
book
the
a flight,
kids and everything.
I think, just honestly, just the Epcot lounge is huge.
Yeah, top of the world.
Because we
Epcot.
just relax. We just, I'm done with the crowd. Let's go sit down and have a Coke and a bag of chips and stare at our phones for 20 minutes.
Now, can you sneak me into that? Like,
yeah,
you can.
I can bring guests in there. I could. Yeah, I'll bring your dad next time. Well, he's not coming down. I'm done with that. I'm going to Saratoga.
But if we came down and you happened to be there at the same time, like we could go to Top of the World, all of us, if we wanted.
Yeah.
And we could go like because of
Right.
you. No, I mean that's a rare occasion. And even you said the discounts, you said they will give it to you a lot of the times without checking.
Yeah, a lot. Some people check your phones, other people don't.
So they just say, "Do you have any discounts?" And you say, "I'm a DVC member," and they just apply it without
What?
checking.
Yeah, what you do is you look at your wife, say, "Do you have the thing on your phone?" And then you give one of your kids like $5 and say, "Throw a temper tantrum."
Oh, okay.
And then the cast member will be like, "All right, you're good.
Yeah.
Say,
like you have your Gina Jr. holding the phone already playing a game, and then
and just say,
and then
sit
say,
on
"Can
the
I
floor
get-"
and start screaming." Yeah,
Yeah,
here's
give-
$5.
When mommy asks you to give the phone back, just go nuts and run away, or
Yes.
something. Yeah,
That's a play. Very simple.
that's a good play. I
Very
mean, that's
simple.
worth it to get 20% off. Right?
Yeah, what you're gonna say? You get your 20% off. You hand your kid a $5 nickel. You're good. It's win-win for everybody.
That's exactly right. And even still, like, how much of that?
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up that much. I mean, the dining's nice, but even just having the Disney Visa, you get 10% at a lot of places. So I'm really only getting maybe an extra 10%. And if we start going more and we get APs, then you get no benefit because
Right,
the AP
right.
discounts are the same as DVC.
They're the same. That's why it wasn't worth it for us. But I mean, the only reason it worked, like I said, because we wanted to buy it at Grand Floridian.
Right.
If we were going to buy anywhere else, it didn't make sense to buy direct. But just
Yeah, because the Grand you didn't save as much buying resale.
No,
'Cause
you
it's
didn't save as
newer.
much because their points value are so high.
Right. Like Saratoga, if you're gonna buy, if you're you're like me and I'm just trying to buy in at the best value, it doesn't make sense because obviously, if you're trying to get the lowest price, buying direct isn't going to be your option anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could get Old Key West for a lot less, but I kind of want the extra 10 years too. Like Old Key West only has 20 years left on it,
I'll be
whereas
honest. I think
Saratoga has like 31.
I think Saratoga is a much better home resort.
But it
And
doesn't
I've never
matter.
stayed there, and I'll let you know when I stay there in April.
But you can
I've
get
stayed-
both. You can get both at 7 months, no problem. Old Key West and Saratoga, so that wouldn't really be
Right.
an
I'm just
issue.
saying, I think overall, I just everything I've ever seen and read about Saratoga, I just love. I love the grounds. I like how spread out it is. I like how it's on the golf course. I like how, again, you don't go to the park. You guys go to Disney Springs. You get
Yeah,
up
we
and,
love
and
Disney
you have
Springs.
breakfast, and then you go over there for an hour or two, and you're not freaking sitting around taking buses all over the place.
Right. You just walk over. You take
walk
the
right
boat
back to your
or whatever.
resort.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice area over there, obviously.
And
And-
you've never been there other than the golf course, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean the only thing you could say about it is the restaurant situation isn't the best there. Same, but that goes with Old Key West as well. Those two, because they're older, they didn't like do up the amenities as much. They have more recreation stuff. Like they have the shuffleboard and the basketball and the tennis courts that some of the other places don't have, but they don't have that signature. They don't have the multiple restaurants. Like staying
And I
at the
think
Grand
for
or the
Old Key
Poly
West,
is
I think you
so
need it.
nice.
I think their dining. I love Olivia's. Their quick service. They had that shrimp salad that was phenomenal. But again, there's no place to sit, so you have to
take it back to your room.
take
or
it
whatever.
either back to your
Yeah.
room, which could be 7 miles the other way, or you got to
Yeah,
sit
that's a good
outside. So
point.
if it's rainy or whatever, that's not going to work. But with Saratoga, you've got Disney Springs.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not worried about. I mean, you have a million quick service options. You got a million single dining credit options.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean we like Disney Springs. Obviously at night it gets crazy, but going during the day where it's not as crowded is nice. Or during the week, whatever. Oh, just the options. It just brings in every single nice resort into your playbook.
No, at what point did you start becoming a douche like me?
I don't know. It's nice with the kids to have a little more space, obviously. Like being stuffed into a value where we're not like we love the parks, don't get me wrong. When we go, we like to go to the parks, but we're not open to close. We take breaks, we go back and like hanging out in the room or hanging out at the hotel. Like if you're staying at Pop Century, you're not really hanging out in the lobby.
Right.
Like it's not the worst. Like going in the shop and the food court's nice, but you're not going in there and just like chilling out and sitting down.
And I was thinking about that, and that's why I love the Grand so much, because they have that beautiful lobby at their DVC.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can just go into their main lobby.
Yeah.
And you're right. And the Contemporary is not known for their lobbies, but you have the Grand Canyon Concourse. Then you have that one just outside of Steakhouse 71 where you can just sit down. The kids can watch a cartoon reel, and you can sit down and have a cup of coffee.
But even the moderates have something. Like
the moderates don't. With the
Well, they do,
exception,
though.
Coronado has a decent lobby.
Yeah,
But you're
but,
not
like-
going to hang out at Riverside or French Quarter lobby.
Not as much, but it's there though. Like you could go to the bar or the lounge, or like those don't even exist at the values. They only have the pool bars. Like it's at least something else, and they have the restaurant. Like if you're at Riverside and it's nighttime, you can go and watch Yeehaw Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not just going out to the pool bar and sitting there and having a Bud Light and swatting mosquitoes away.
Because that's what that killed me, was when we watched that World Series game. And it's like I would rather have a different option, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Although I suspect the indoor bars would have done the same thing and kicked us out.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just saying, like, sitting outside, like on lawn chairs.
Oh, true. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good point. And not to mention, okay, so let's say we're staying at Pop and we're watching that, and we know the bar is going to close, and we head back to our room. At Pop, you're sitting on the edge of your bed watching the TV.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going back to your studio at the Poly, that Murphy bed's up, you have a couch
on
at
that
least
Murphy
you can
bed.
sit on. You know? Or if you're in a one bedroom, okay, you even have the whole living room you can watch it on. That's a huge difference. And it's stupid. Like, you don't need it. Like, you can't say, all right, but it's all luxury. If that's how we want to do it, if we like staying at the Disney resorts, then that's the best way to do it. Because we're paying, pretty soon we'll be paying value rates to stay at the
Yeah, no
deluxe.
doubt about it. Yeah.
Because Pop Century, you're not finding it for under like $220 anymore.
Right. I mean, I one time got, I want to say 69, maybe 79.
Yeah. No, I remember it was easily in the double digits. You could always get it under 100. And now, like, it's over 2 easily. And like you said, you're getting a studio the week before Christmas, and your value is what, $250 a night or something like that?
I paid 18.
18 points.
18 points. You got a calculator handy?
Yeah.
And I think my cost is around $12.60. So $12.60 times 18.
$226. And that's basically what you would pay for Pop that same night. Almost guaranteed that's what Pop's rack rate would be, at least, if not more. Now, there is some, value proposition tied up in spending all that money up front and doing all that other stuff, of course. So it's not an exact 1-for-1, but even if it's 20% or 30% more, okay, so you say it's $280 for that room. That would normally be $600 or $550 or whatever it is. You're still, saving the money on it. And if that's how you want to do it, then yeah, it's a no-brainer. Like, if your number one priority is just spending the least amount of money, then you can stay at All-Stars anytime you go.
Then, not even there, just do a Verbo.
Or whatever it is, or stay at the Clarion Main Gate or something.
And you know what? In the Verbo, I did a few Verbos when Rhodey was younger and I didn't have a pet sitter. It was fine, but it sucked because it was my house that wasn't as nice as my house.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
You
Yeah,
don't have that feeling in a Verbo. You just don't. You did like, even like you said, you stayed at a nicer one, but didn't you just lack that feeling?
Yeah, it still felt like a house. Like we were saying,
like
it was
house.
really nice, but we also.
But it didn't give you. There's something said about walking out of your door and just going to the quick service and getting a cup of coffee or getting something coming. There's just something about just that swampy smell, that sound, that walking around. It puts this euphoric feeling.
There's definitely value in that. I agree with that. And the place we stayed was beautiful. It was 4-bedroom. It was huge. It had like a ton of amenities for the kids. It had the whole like theater room and all the toys and everything in there, and that was great. But we also stayed for a week, and it was like $3,500. So it's not like we were saving a lot of money. It was still an expensive.
Oh, so it was almost $500 a night
after like the fees. It was over $3,000. Yeah, so it was like $4 something.
Oh, yeah. So it's not. Yeah, so it's not like you saved a ton of money.
No,
It would have
so
been
we-
cheaper for you to stay even probably at a moderate.
at Pop or something. Yeah,
Right.
but having the extra room was worth it for us. But it wasn't like we were staying at. It wasn't cheap, for that amount of money. If we had the DVC and you figure that out, we could have stayed at a 1-bedroom at a DVC, and yeah, you get less space, but you're getting the whole resort
Right.
brought into your amenities, and that's different too.
What's the score of this Giants game?
It's still 28-0 Parts.
Oh, it's still 28-0.
Yeah. But that's okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like, especially if I am able to get this contract, if it goes through and the offer gets accepted and everything goes through, I mean, that seems like a steal to me. So you're 150 points, you spent almost 30 on it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I'd get 163 for 16.
Yep.
I mean, that's a huge difference.
Mhm.
Granted, your home resort is Grand, so you can book that studio or 1-bedroom at the Grand without having to worry about it whenever you want to with your 11-month window, which I can't. I won't be able to get a Grand. The way we want to do it and having to book a long time out, like, I'd have to get super lucky to get a Grand Floridian studio.
Nah, you'd be surprised. I think you can.
Okay, but
I think
or
you'd be
some of the
able to,
more
right.
like a beach club or something like that. I'm not going to necessarily get it, and I'm not getting the top of the world. I'm not getting the Epcot Lounge. But for me to save, $12,000 on my contract, it's a no-brainer. And this might not. This might go to right of first refusal, and they see that, and they just say for 102 they're going to buy it back, and then I'm back to the drawing board looking at other contracts. But
What were you on? Fidelity? Was that the site?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to look at that and see, was the disparity that big?
I mean, the next I saw some around that, but that was the only one that had like almost double points.
Plus, it's
Like,
front loaded.
Yeah, it had
Yeah,
the
the
bank
points are front loaded,
and that's like Phil was saying last night.
and
Like
they were
having
already
that,
banked.
you can kind
Yeah,
of
you
push
could.
them, and
you could sell those 103.
I could do that and get some money back right away. Or if we want to go in December this year and find something and just use it wherever we can find something, and use those bank points and then go from there. But you can also kind of like push points forward every year for 5 years and have an extra 20 or 30 points a year
Right.
using that extra that you have, that he was kind of talking about that strategy.
Yeah, with
as
that thing
well.
being front loaded, you're not gonna use those points, so you're constantly gonna be pushing
Right.
a bunch
So,
of points. So
yeah,
yeah, like for another,
That's going to
like
last me
5,
5 or
6,
6
7
years. Yeah.
6, 7 years, right?
So that's an advantage as well. Like, that's something that I definitely took into consideration because
You're obsessed, aren't you?
it's messed up. It messes me up because I didn't really care about it, but now that I
You
kind of learn
you
more, like,
yes.
it makes too much sense. Like,
It makes it's a problem. It makes
because I even told Sarah, like, I don't know, like, there should be a catch, but there's no catch to it. Like, we can get out of it anytime. We could just sell it.
like the fact of the matter is, like, our wives are very similar when it comes to that.
Yeah.
In both of them, technically, would have been just, it's stupid. It doesn't make sense. But the fact that they're both like, it kind of makes sense is what messes me up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you came to me and said, I presented this and she pointed this out, did you ever think of this? And I was like, oh no, I never thought of that.
Right.
And then I bring it to Phil, and Phil's like, oh my God, all these years, like there has to be something that, and nobody, and maybe at the end of the day, maybe it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe they're getting a huge cash flow.
Right. That's the biggest thing. They just get that guaranteed
Right.
everything, and then it's worth it for them to have the customer base and the inventory. Like, whether people stay or not, they have the inventory sold. Basically, like, those points are out there. They have to honor them no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I was trying to tell Sarah before. I was like, it doesn't matter what we pay or what anyone pays. Our 150 points or whatever it is, 163,
60,
150, whatever, however many points you have, it's going to get you more or less the same room for the extent of the contract because they can't add or subtract points. They can move them around a little bit, 2 points more for a studio,
but
2 points less for a 2-bedroom. But
it always has to be like 175,000 points for the year or whatever the math
it has
comes
to come out
to.
to that number, whatever the number is. You could say 100 to make the math make sense. Like it has to be a total of 100 points. So if they want to charge 50 points for a studio, that means they can only charge 30 for a 1-bedroom or 20. So the studios are always going to be less. They're always going to be in that range. It can go up a couple points, down a couple points over the course of a year, but if it does that, that means something else is coming down. If a studio goes up, that means a 1-bedroom is coming down, or a 3-bedroom.
It's cheaper to stay during the week than it is on the weekend. I mean, they
just like
they figured it out.
Yeah, but the 100, whatever point total you have is, if 150 points gets you about
it's
going to
be the same
at a studio, it's going to get you about a week at a studio in 30 years, and that's the thing that. It's like, man, once you put it that way, it's like it makes
because
sense
at first you think, well, with inflation, this 150 might only be worth 25 in 30 years, but that's not the fact. That's not the truth.
No, because it's going to get you those same, and then in 25 years, rack rate at Disney is going to be $1,400 for a room.
Yeah, pop might be $1,000 a night.
Who knows in 30 years or whatever? It might not be, but it could get high. It could get up to 500, 600. And then you're still working off that, okay, so your maintenance fees might be $10 or $11, but you're still basically only paying like $2,000 a year for this room once it's paid off, whatever your maintenance fees are. Because like you said, they can go up X amount per year, but they can't triple.
And everything's disclosed. So if you want to read through all those condominium, they're going to show you what housekeeping costs. They're going to talk to you, exterior, insurance, this and that. I mean, it's all, they can't hide it.
Yeah, there's no like assessments. They're not going to come to you in 5 years and be like, we're whacking you like $80 a point for an assessment. Like,
and that's what it costs. When you were asking me today what the soft and the hard goods, that's all covered under that.
Part of it, yeah. Yeah, because I didn't know, like in our video on our YouTube page, youtube.com/@WDWBTG.
I'll tell you what, though, I did a good job, didn't I? Because I did follow up. I said that I was going to give you that schedule, and I did.
Yes. So you said the soft refurb is coming in 2023, which is this year.
Yep.
And the hard is in 2025 or 26.
No, I think the hard will be in 30 because I think it's every 7 years.
Oh, so a soft and then hard every 7 years, basically.
Soft, hard, and it goes every 7.
So basically the soft refurb at the Beach Club means that the Beach Club Villas will get the Murphy beds this year at some point.
I believe the Murphy beds are the Murphy beds are part of the soft.
Okay, and hard is like new appliances, everything, new floors, all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
maybe like taking the walls down to the studs and changing things around, or yeah.
Okay. Soft is like new TVs, new linen, changing the mattress or something like that. Okay. Yeah, because Sarah asked me what that meant, and I said I didn't know. She said, well, ask Mike. He'll know. I said, he might not know. He might have just Googled it and put it up there. But you came through. She was proud of you.
Yeah, I'm good. I know my stuff.
That's what she said. She had more confidence in you than I did. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I figured you might. But I don't know. You have anything else you want to talk about here, Pards?
You haven't played any golf, have you?
No, not in January. I got to get over to start taking my lessons. I haven't even gone over there to set that up yet.
I mean, you haven't bought a package or anything?
I did. And I'm probably going to get like the 5-lesson package. Do it once a week. That'll get me through basically to the second week of March, and then I'll be ready to go.
So from what I understand, somebody said that you want to go once a week for maybe 3 to 4 weeks because they're going to change things around. But then you want to go like maybe once a month too.
Just to maintain?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be opposed to that during
I
the
mean,
season. Just
if
check
you
in
like
with
the
them.
guy that you're going to, just kind of ask him and like
Yeah.
see if he's completely upselling you or whatever. But like I talked to a couple guys and they said, yeah, we went once a week because like we kind of like grip and this and that and this, and then once you get that down for 3 to 4 weeks, then they start going maybe every 3 weeks, and then you go to once a month or whatever.
It makes sense because you don't want to get totally off the schedule. You want to kind of check in. It's almost like going to the doctor. You want to check in every once in a while, make sure everything's going okay.
You're not going to go to 75 in a 3-week lesson.
No, I don't expect that. I just want to be more consistent.
No, I know.
Ball striking, especially my irons. Like I want to just figure that out because I don't hit any green. Like I hit no greens. My iron play is so inconsistent. I don't know if I'm going to push it or pull it, even when I make good contact. So I do want to try to figure out what I can do to try to get more consistent with the irons and just go from there.
I was talking to Darren today after when I had to hand in the scorecard.
How was that? How was the scorecard today?
It was good.
Oh, good.
He said TaylorMade's here on Wednesday. I can't go to that fitting, can I?
Well, you already have the Stealth. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Get irons? You don't need irons. You like your irons, don't you?
Yeah, they're fine.
I thought you're on a budget now, Pards.
No, not when it comes to golf or Disney. When it comes to cable and phones and all that stuff, we're on a budget.
Beer. Yeah.
Yeah.
So golf clubs, like you could spend another like $1,200 on
I could spend $12,000 on new golf clubs this year, and that's fine.
It's nice getting fitted. Is that a no pressure situation where you just go get fitted?
Yeah, it'll be a no pressure. I might just go see what the Stealth irons feel like.
They had a set of used Stealth irons at Golf Galaxy, and I was looking at them.
How much?
$7.99.
Isn't that what they are new?
No, they're like 11 new, I think.
They're nice looking irons, though, aren't they?
They are nice, and I like because I don't like the chunky. Like I don't like your irons. I don't think I could. I just like a real, like slim look looking down on it. Like I'm not good enough to play a blade, but I love looking down at a blade.
You know what? I almost went with those 790s because they said that they look like a blade, but they're not. They're for fucking they're for hackers.
Yeah. That's what I need. I need like a hacker iron that looks like a blade. And that's why I like mine, because my clubs actually do look like they have a very shallow face, but they're very forgiving. So I actually like my irons a lot. And I even told the guy when I talked to him, and he said, just bring them and we can even just get you fitted on your current irons. And if we have to bend them or add an inch or take an inch away or something, he said, we'll just do that if you like them instead of buying new irons. Which I like that. I mean, if it costs me, a couple $100 to get them re-gripped and add a 1/4 of an inch to them or something.
Right.
That's a
but you
investment.
definitely do want to get your stuff sized and fixed. And
I mean, that's the thing. I think that's important because I bought those new, but I bought them just right off the rack. 6-7 years, whenever it was, 6 years ago.
Well, I'll tell you what. That Stealth.
It's a game changer, isn't it?
I want to go back to that golf shop and give the guy some more money.
Just give him an extra $100. Be like, you should have this. It's good you had the shaft, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Because it'd be completely useless without the shaft.
Yeah, with that old man shaft, like that thing was like I was just like moving my
like a
wrist,
fly
and
fisher
I thought I was
for you.
Yeah, I thought I was going to break it. So we played today.
Mm-hmm.
And even Kurt said, he said, I've never seen you hit the driver this good. I'm like, well, I don't have that snap hook, because when you get into that where you stand up and you straighten your leg and you snap hook it 180 into I said, I don't have my snap hook swing. I said, so I'm hitting the ball okay. But my misses have just I hit some toes that were in amazing I did a drop kick that was 230 down the middle.
That's the thing. You can hit a drop kick that goes like 228 down the middle.
Like I hit a drop kick on 17, and I was where I stripe it. I was out past the bunkers, and I actually hit a 4 hybrid, pin high, but I was to the right,
Yeah.
and I almost chipped it. And I made par, but yeah, I was pin high in 2, and I drop kicked my drive on a par 5. I mean, that's
Right. Well, that's what I did. Remember when we played?
Mhm.
I hit that was probably my worst drive of the day on 17, and I like drop kicked it, and
Yep.
it went past the bunker, and I hit my hybrid, and I was just short, and then I think I still made double, but I was like basically on the green in 2 after drop kicking the drive because it goes straight and it gets the distance, a decent distance.
it gets good distance. And then on 18, Kurt said that might be your best one of the day. I was
Did
to
that
the
make you
left.
laugh when he said that?
Yeah, I did because he did. He goes that might be your best one of the day. And I was past, the bunkers on the right, the fairway bunkers on the right
because
on
I hit it
18.
in that bunker. Yeah.
I was way past that, and I was in the left rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm in the go zone. I'm like, I can't lay up. I can't hit a 97-yard layup in front of that creek. I'm like,
Yeah, you got to go for it.
I got to go. And the pin was in a perfect location. And I said, I don't like hitting hybrids out of the rough. I said, but hybrids are supposed to be hit out of the rough, right? Like you're supposed
Sure.
to go down and get it. And he goes, yep. I'm like, screw it. I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to go after it. I hit this right to left. I thought it was going to go in a hole. I'm like, oh my God, that's a golf shot.
Oh,
Ended up
really?
coming up just short. I putted it, of course, and then I missed my 3-footer because it was a huge breaker.
Yeah.
We had to really either die it or it was gone.
Right.
So I made par, and then I had Larry Vavrick played in the morning. He played in a qualifier. You know your friend
Sure.
Lawrence Vavrick?
Lawrence, yeah.
So he's coming off 18 and we're turning. He's like, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, I said, you done? He's like, yeah. He goes, we had to play early. We were in a super senior qualifier, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you guys just going off the back? I'm like, yeah, it's just the 3 of us. You want to join us? He's like, I'd love to. He's like, can I play a few holes with you? I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go play a few holes. So on 11, he asked me, no, it was 11, 12, 13, 14, on 14. He's like, can I try this? I'm like, absolutely. He absolutely just stewed it down the middle. He's like, I never hit a right to left. I said, yeah, this is called a high draw. I said, it's got a little bit of a draw face. He's like, what'd you pay for this? And I'm like, I paid $299. It was considered a used demo. I said, but it's brand freaking new. And he's like, do they still sell? I go, no, Rossini bought the last one. They're like, everybody wants this freaking 290. Like, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, even for after buying it, you'd pay $500 for that, wouldn't you?
Oh my God. It's the dumbest club ever. I mean, because when you square that thing is gone. But when you miss it,
that's the biggest thing.
It just has this weird feeling too. Like it doesn't, like I don't swing, I don't go after it. And I'm like, I've never laughed at a drive, and I hit like 3 today, and I just started laughing. I'm like, I can't hit a ball any better.
Yeah.
Like you can honestly say I cannot do any better than what I just did with that.
And it's probably still not even the best shot you could hit with it because it's
because I didn't hit it off the dime.
Right.
I probably hit it off a quarter or a $50.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think the time when I hit it off a dime, it's going to be like, whoa.
Yeah, that you might do that twice a season, but because you and I are the same like that. Yeah, it's not, that club's stupid. You never know, because you hit a club on the simulator or whatever, and you're like,
right.
Okay, wait till you get it out on the course. And I got it out on the course, and I was hitting it just as good almost the whole season. And you go through your ups and downs with it. Like you'll have times where it
absolutely
craps the bet on you, and
I mean, it's not gonna cure you from your snap hooks. That's just a bad swing.
Or you're you're still gonna hit it 2 fairways over occasionally to the right.
And I actually did that on 10. On number 10, I hit it on 18 fairway.
And yeah, but the close misses are so much better that it's worth it for that. Like with your Sim 4, what do you have? Did you have the Sim 4 or the Sim 3?
For what?
What driver did you have?
I have the
Sim 4?
M6s.
Oh, the M6. I'm sorry. Yeah, with your M6, if you hit it off the toe like you do with the Stealth, It was going like 195 into the left rough.
Into the
Now
left
you're-
rough. Alex said that thing is gone into the left rough.
Right, and now you're 225 or 230, which isn't your best, but you're in the fairway, or maybe you're in the short rough or something, but you're still in play. You're not behind trees and 40 yards further back. Like now you're hitting 8 irons instead of 5 irons. It's a huge advantage. Huge advantage.
And like it was funny because you asked me how I played. I had to make 14 a couple weeks ago, and I made 19, so I was plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
So my quota went up 3 points.
Sure.
So I got the scorecard. I'm like, I got to make 17 now. I said we could be, because we always joke, we're like, sorry guys, but we're screwed this week because I just went up. And I made 10 on the front, and I made, I want to say whatever on the back. I played well overall. I limited my double bogeys.
Yeah.
And I was plus 1. And Rick Humphrey even said, he said, Mike, he goes, that driver is worth the money. He said, because you're having fun now. He said, for those few weeks when you were struggling, he said, you were just angry. He goes, like, you weren't being an ass to us. He said, but you were just mad and quiet and this and that. He goes, isn't it worth the money that you're actually like having fun? Like, yeah, you make a few double bogeys, but you're in play, or you're having, I'm like, it's so true.
You look forward to going out and playing because
like you actually look forward, but you know, like when you've gone bad a few times and your dad's like, you want to play? And you're like, I don't really want to play, but I guess I'll play.
Yeah. Right.
Well, like that time when you had the shanks and you almost just didn't want to play in because you don't want to go out and shoot 140.
Right. Exactly. But like when we were playing, like I joke with you about worrying about hitting it in the creek on one. But when I stand up there with the stuff, like I don't feel like I'm going to hit a bad shot. I feel like that's my best club in my bag is my driver. Like people talk about, oh, you should hit a 4-iron because it's going to keep you in play. Like I have more confidence in hitting my driver in play than my 4-iron.
Yeah, because I can't tell you how many times I've taken out a 5-iron on number 5 when the tees were in front of that creek before the bridge collapsed.
Right, and you chunk it.
And you either chunk it or you just absolutely snap hook it. It's like, well, I'd rather be 180 yards further and still be out of play than where I am right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I always hit because it's got my best chance of being in play, and at least if it's out of play, it's going to be further up, closer to the hole. Yeah. But I don't know. I think I'm good for tonight. What about you, Parts?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. Thanks for
keep me posted on this contract, Parts. We'll start. You want to start looking at our second and thirds now?
Yeah, we can.
Going forward?
Yeah, why not? Pick up a little 25 here, a little 18 here. You never know.
Well, that's the thing, too, because they were so small early on. Because 25 is only going to cost me $4,000.
Right. I saw some Old Key West, like someone for like 35 points at Old Key West for like 80 a point. I'm like, $4,000.
35 points?
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus, don't tell me this.
Yeah, I know you're gonna.
I gotta say.
Just wait. Use your points first before you start buying.
I really try to mess my marriage up, and I still haven't been able to figure that out. But if
you're getting closer and closer
like,
now,
little 30-pointers.
Just where'd that 4,000 go? Don't worry about it.
I got room on the credit card for this one, Parts.
All right, that's gonna do it. I'll see you next time.
Have a good night, buddy.
You too.